There it goes.
Oh boy.
How we doing, everybody? Comments will appear here. We're live. It's on. It failed. It totally crashed when we first started it up. That's why we're 1 minute late. 4 people. Who we got? Sound check. Anyone? Anyone? Who's on there first? Mom or Master? Kayla? Tim McDonald? You win. You're the first on today. Welcome, sir. Can you hear us okay? Ray wants to be in the video. Sorry, Ray, we're not going to do that. MasterSpas, hello. Nicole, what's up? Melanie, what's up? All right, everybody. Sound is great. We are
good. All
right. So we're combating. We'll let a few minutes to let people hop on. We are combating a severe storm here.
Yeah, outside.
So I don't know if you can hear it hitting the roof. It's like thunder, lightning, and then we hit live, and it crashed, which never happens unless Zach is there with a big, complicated system. Sound is good. Spanky, what's up, man? So everyone notice Mike Peters on there? His nickname is Spanky, and more people know him by that than they do his real name, which is Mike. He's delightful. Hit the wrong button. Ray, it's all right. It's all right, man. Someone does it.
A lot of people do that.
Someone does it every live, and we harass them. You're the only one who ever owned up to it and said it was a mistake. Everyone else just kind of scampers off. So good for you. Let's see. Ryan, how are you? Tim, hello. Kyle, it was here yesterday. Yeah, that's right. It snowed there yesterday in Indiana.
I know. I saw that.
So while we're waiting, we'll get a few more people on. I have one PSA because we were sort of running late down here. Can we say? Yeah, I'll get back to that. So if you're on the highway and you're in the right lane and there's a bunch of cars behind you, you're the problem. You got to move to the right. That's the Ben's PSA for the day. Left lane.
If you're in the left lane.
The fast lane. You know what I mean. So haul over. Get out of the way. We barely made it here. Lisa, what's up? Michigan spa next week. Awesome. Awesome. Actually, I'm hoping for mine in the next few weeks as well. So I'm getting a Challenger 15 myself at the house. You'll see. All right, New Brunswick. All right. I don't know how to pronounce that. Mary, you want to take a swing at that?
Where is it?
AGNIESZKA.
I don't know.
We're sorry. We're not even going to try to butcher that name, but welcome.
Yeah.
Okay? We'll call you AS. Welcome. All right. Snow in St. Louis. Ugh. Concrete poured yesterday. Yes. All right. So today, everything is install.
Weird installs.
Weird install questions.
Small yards, old houses, well water.
This feels great, by the way.
I know.
So our water is 95 degrees right now in our swim spot, and it feels amazing.
It really does.
Okay, so we're thrilled with this. It feels amazing. So let's see. So what we're going to do, normally we talk about exercise, we talk about anything, and then we get hammered with install questions. Well, today you better ask the install questions because we're actually here for that purpose. Okay, and we've got a bunch of questions if no one does. Let's see, finally have a clear spot, had to drain and refill, not a big deal, good. What else do we got? Actually, a friend of ours has a Challenger 19, and they called me over there. They live like a mile from my house last night. I won't name names, but I had to go tell them to drain it and refill it.
Oh, really?
Yes.
You didn't tell me that.
Yeah.
Oh.
So,
If the water got bad?
It's... I believe that every swim spot I've ever filled, the first fill, the water doesn't last as long as it normally does, and I think it's just junk in the lines. So
from the bill.
Sunny Florida, super high pH problems. I'll let you figure out why that pH is going so high. And what else we got? Ryan, how are you? All right. So
peeing in the pool.
No peeing in the pool. All right. You want to start with this stuff? You want to start? How do you want to start, Mary?
So the email that went out to everybody and invited you to come watch us this week talked about, some challenges that we often hear when we're dealing with customers about, is their yard too small? They have well water, what should they do? And a lot of times we get some power questions because maybe they have an older house and their power supply or their panel is full. And
wait. Dickie Ball, that's the name. Do you carry the Twilight sticker? Can't seem to find it. I don't carry them.
I don't.
I'm sure your dealer does, but I don't have them like in my pocket or anything. I'm not sure this is the place to ask for that, but
You can call your dealer.
call your dealer
maybe.
for that, something like that. All right, or maybe send a message in. Go ahead. Sorry to interrupt you.
That's okay.
Dickie
So,
Ball.
so we're gonna have. We're just gonna, talk about how swim spas really are great for situations like that. We've got all different sizes, and really, if you're getting a one temperature swim spa, meaning any swim spa that's not 19 foot, you're not really required, you really only need a 50 amp breaker, and you can definitely work with an electrician on how to, address that issue if you don't have it. It's not very difficult to add a sub panel with a 50 amp breaker. Well water certainly is okay. The question just comes down to if you want how big your well is, and if you wanted to use that much water. Ben will address that
one's personal to me.
And finally, just that, swim spas come in all different sizes, and really what it comes down to is what you are going to be using it for. But if it's really for fitness and exercise and maybe not for full out swimming, we've got some smaller options if you have a smaller yard as well.
Read Kim's comment. Fun fact, I have one of the ugliest electrical setup that the electrician had ever seen. That's from Kim.
And she's getting a swim spa, and it's going to go in, and it's
still
going to be
going to work.
awesome. Actually, she has a really great spot for it.
It is a great, the cement came out. Yeah.
It's going to be really neat.
Kim, the pad came out awesome. We're excited to see that.
Yeah.
So, okay, do you want me to talk about the well water?
Yeah.
So let's talk about the well water a little bit. I have a well. My well is, knock on anything, it's never run dry. It's super hard. I have lots of copper in it and iron. So it's very, very hard. Now for me, it's not so much a matter of the water being hard, because you can use a sequestering agent and get that stuff out of there, like a metal be gone or anything like that. I don't think it's worth it. Like personally, to have the water go in there and have to do all that to clean it in my well. My well's bad. I have a water truck come, and I've had a hot tub at the house for 15 years, 16 years. That's actually coming out on Friday, and then our swim spa's going in. I wouldn't even think about filling it up with the well, and it's not because of the quality of the water. I wouldn't want to put 1,900 gallons of demand on my little baby well pump. So it's just, they're not designed for that. You'd have to do it, to do it by the book from a plumbing perspective, you would have to fill it for, run it for 15 minutes, let it recover for a half an hour, 15 minutes. It'll take you a freaking century to fill it that way. So don't do it that way. I would, if you have a swim spa and you have a well, unless you have some kind of crazy well, or like even Anthony has a double, he has 2 wells.
Oh.
A friend of ours has 2 wells, and they had a pool company come and fill it. It's so fast, the water's perfect.
And it's not really expensive to do it that way.
They charged Anthony $200.
Right.
So we're in Connecticut. They charged him for a Challenger 19. It's the biggest one there is, $200. For me, I'm not even thinking about filling it from the well. I mean, I imagine it's going to cost $15 or $20 worth of chemicals just to clean the water anyway.
Right.
So I'd rather have it just be perfect, bring it in, done. So that's the whole thing on the well, is don't destroy your well to save $200, when if you need a new well pump or you run your well dry, that's the problem. It's not the quality of the water. That's less of a concern than, putting that much of a demand on your well. That's all. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And if, just going back, I'm going to let Ben answer more about the electrical. If you've got an older house and you don't have that much.
That was air.
Yes, it was.
It was. It was air from my shorts, not from inside of Ben. I'll leave it at that. All right.
So I'm going to let Ben talk a little bit more about the electrical, but in terms of small spaces, so we have this swim spa is 15 feet by 8 feet. And although it looks really big, if you think about it, it's 15 feet long, it's only 8 feet wide. Most people have that amount of space in your yard. And if you're really looking for something that you can use all year round and family enjoyment and fun and fitness and relaxation, it's not that much space, really. I realize that they look giant when you see them in person, but when you have them in your yard, it's not super huge. And if you are a smaller person and you don't need the 15 foot, we even have a 12 by 8, which is a little bit smaller. But there's such awesome things to have in your yard and to enjoy for your family, and to be able to use it. Just
a lot of times with the small space, with the smaller yard, you still have setback concerns. And putting a pool in is still going to be,
of course,
impossible in a very small yard situation. Whereas a swim spa or a hot tub, it will work. And typically, the only concern that towns really have with these, because they are, legally portable, UL listed, lockable safety cover. Typically, the concern is the setbacks. So if you're within, if you're not inside your setbacks, you're out of them, but close to the center, right behind the house, you're not going to hit your setbacks. And a swim spot can go pretty much right up next to the house, like a foot away, and you'd be fine.
Yeah.
So you just want your business end, which is the hot tub end, always, except for a couple models that to be accessible for service afterwards. But in a small space, it can't be beat.
And then what do you recommend electrical wise if someone has an older house where maybe they don't have
all right,
maybe they only have 100 amp service.
So if you have an older home and you have 100 amp service, but it's not overloaded, you can run a 50 amp swim spa on that. We've seen it many times. It can be tight with amperage, but you got to remember, everything that's tied into that panel is not running at the same time.
Right.
And there's a couple, we've dealt with amazing electricians who are very skilled at making it work, and we've dealt with lazy electricians that said, "No, you need a new panel," and they didn't even try to make room in there. Our electrician, we've got an electrician that we use for all of our personal projects. He's amazing. He wants to make it work. He's not looking to charge a bigger, make it into a big thing. I've had, customers say the electrician said it's going to be $5,000 because he needs a whole new panel and this
then
and that.
Then you need a second opinion.
You need a second opinion.
Yeah.
If the electrician's not trying to make what you have work, you need a new electrician. All right? The electrician is not, the king in charge of your swim spa or hot tub install.
Right.
So find one who wants to make it work, because we've had tight situations where amazing electricians have come in and saved the day, rather than the first one came in $5,000. You know what I mean? And when they're busy, if they don't want the job, they just give a high number so that if they get it, they don't care. So that's the whole thing. I'm not bashing electricians. You have amazing ones. You have not so amazing ones. Find an amazing one, because that'll make the difference and it'll make it really easy. So, like, for example, if you have, let's say you have 100 or 200 or 150 amp service, but all of your breaker spaces are filled, then they have all kinds of electrical trickery that they can do. They can use mini breakers and make space in there and put a breaker in, put a double pole breaker in for a hot tub or swim spa, which is what you need. And they can make that work. They can do a little mini sub. They can do all kinds of stuff. All right, so find a good electrician. It'll make the job much easier. And if you're like Kim and you have the messiest electrical situation the electrician has ever seen, but he's still making it work.
Yeah.
She didn't say he didn't, so I haven't talked to her about that yet. Maybe she wouldn't comment on here, but we want to see the real information. So I'm guessing he made it work. And if it was, old houses, man, you could have just crazy stuff going on in there. We see it all the time.
Yeah.
So get a good electrician. That makes a huge difference.
Sure.
We had someone comment that they filled a 29,000 gallon pool with a well, no problem. Then what we'll do is, if anyone's well pump goes, we'll send you the bill for that. All right. So I'm glad yours worked. You could have the king of all wells. As a general rule of thumb, no plumber would advise you to run 2,000 gallons without shutting a well off out of your well.
And I feel like a lot of people kind of know if their well is capable of that.
Sure.
Anytime
and
that
I'm
I've
guessing
sold,
they do.
Yeah, I was gonna say, anytime that I've sold somebody that has a well, sometimes they'll say we have a really big well and that's not an issue at all, or someone will say we wouldn't even touch our well. We're gonna get, we'll get a pool service.
People who have had a well run dry, they know that they're not going to do that to their well.
Exactly.
You could have some big crazy well in the right place and fill that 29,000 gallons. Awesome.
And I know that not all fire departments do this, but some towns, like if you give a donation to your fire department, they'll come and fill up your swim spa with the truck. And
hang on, Dickie, I'm just teasing you. It's all right. I know you didn't mean. I definitely don't have him in my pocket. I know. I'm just harassing you. Don't worry about it.
Ben likes to harass somebody.
I'm sort of a jerk.
Once in a while.
I'm sort of a jerk. It's why I'm here, actually. 40% Ben, I'm allowed to be. Per Kevin, 40%, 40. I'm allowed to be 40% myself while on live. All right. Actually, it's sort of spread to past live now. I have to be on my
best. I know.
I have to be on my best behavior.
You usually do a good job.
I try. All right.
But he does like to pick on people every once in a while, Dickie. So you got the brunt of it. So we do have some questions that we've gotten, unless anyone has any questions about like weird installs, older homes, small yards. One, actually, I did want to mention, because I've been working with a customer who lives in New Jersey, and they have a big enough yard. It is a small yard. A Trainer 15 is going to fit amazingly in there. They've got a really great spot for it. The problem is that they don't have a lot of space between their yards. Their homes are pretty close. And so they will need a crane to deliver the swim spa. And it is not unusual to have a crane deliver a swim spa. But
people freak out, though.
People do freak out.
They freak out.
And
don't freak out.
Don't freak out, because our dealers throughout the country are really well versed in coordinating with crane companies. They have usually done way worse installs than just a crane. We've got some people that have literally gotten helicopter deliveries. So a crane is usually pretty easy. It's not overwhelming. The delivery crew coordinates with a crane company. They guide the swim spa to the spot that it needs to go. And it's usually pretty seamless. And even though it's intimidating to have a huge swim spa, be craned over your house, it usually is really well done, and it works really well when you don't have a lot of space for a truck to get into your yard. So definitely not intimidating. It's definitely not unusual, and your dealer will work with a crane company. It's done quite often, so. Not anything to be concerned about. Actually,
you guys will see when we install mine, I'm going to have to lift it either with a large boom on an excavator or a crane, or a small crane. It would be a small crane because
Does Robbie have a boom?
He's got an excavator that we can use, so we'll see. So, but it'll be. I think we'll be able to schedule it for 4:00 and do it on the live with the crane doing the install. So you'll be right there to see it. We're excited about that. Crane delivery is super fun. Carolyn, I feel the exact same way. I can't wait to see this. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be awesome. So.
And a lot of people, sometimes it's just easier all around. You don't have to worry about your yard getting chewed up or anything. Not that, most delivery guys have just done so many. They're really, really good at it anyway. But, there's just not a lot of space sometimes, and they need it. So it works out really well.
There's a comment in there. I didn't read what Paul Walls was referring to, or who he was commenting back to. That guy knows what he's talking about. Oh yeah. So if anyone reading these comments, if you're interacting with Paul, he is a wizard at all this stuff. He's definitely
in Omaha.
Yeah.
I just had a. I had a brain.
Your brain wasn't working. Omaha. So he's the daddy of Omaha, and really, really awesome. So first of all, Paul, thanks for being on here, and any comments you have, thank you in advance for, because we know that he knows.
Guys are awesome.
Yeah, he knows. He's got great install equipment, great crew, super track record, very experienced. So if anyone has a question and he answers, you're lucky. He's really dialed in. All right, so.
You want to hit these questions?
Sure.
All right. So I've got one. We are looking to buy a swim spa. Is it okay to fill with a hose, or should we order a water tank service as it might be faster? So one, it is okay to fill with a hose, just like we talked about. If it's just city water that you've got, yes. And if you have a high pressure hose, it doesn't take too long actually. But a pool service will definitely be faster. I mean, literally, it might take 5 minutes, whereas filling it with a hose might take 5 hours. So that is really up to you. But if you do have a hose, it's more than fine. We fill our swim spa here with a hose. What else do we need to start up? Any products or cleaning products? When you buy a swim spa, you will get a startup chemical kit and with some instructions on what you should put in initially. And it kind of depends on whether or not you have metal in your water, or if it's city water and it's already, kind of chlorinated. So when you get your swim spa and you get your startup chemical kit, everything will be kind of instructed as to what you need to do when you first fill it. So Doris in Florida, now you should get a swim spa and find out.
Yep. Just do it. All right. Next question. Scott in California. Can you tell me about in-ground installation? How much space do I need to leave around sides and ends in the vault? Vault is the correct word. Can pavers be used as decking? If so, how do you accommodate access? So let's start with this. In-ground, what you want to be aware of is if you have flash flooding, incredibly hard rain, and that vault fills with water because there's not enough drainage in it, or a backup sump pump or something like that, or if I were doing a vault, I would have two. I would have like a curtain type drain on the edge of the vault, maybe on both sides of it, that was a gravity fed drain if I could, and then maybe even a sump pump backup. If that fills with rainwater, it's not the water in the swim spa that we're concerned about. It's the water that is from the rain that's going to fill that vault. If it fills that vault and just submarines all your mechanical goodies, that is not a warranty issue. Okay, that is something that was improper installation, because we warn against that pretty harshly. And I have a couple of customers who have that happened to. One in Guam. Guam in particular, and he's, he lives in Guam. He understands he lives on an island. He's very handy. He's a contractor, amazing guy. And, we're working with him. We don't have service in Guam. So, he's got double the difficulty in dealing with this stuff. So we're sending him parts. Customer service is working with him on FaceTime and on the phone to get things handled. And he's just awesome, but he understands that, and we talked about that going in. And then usually it doesn't happen, but it did. And I'm still feel bad for him, but most beautiful install you ever saw, though. Yeah. I'm sure there's pictures of it on the Facebook page and the website. But anyway, so we need 2 to 3 feet around it. By the book is 3 feet. We've got a lot of customers who have done 2. You just need to be able to get a dude down there, or a dudette, to get down there for service, because most of the service is going to be on the A side, which is where your pumps and controls are, where the hot tub seats are. So that's going to be, if you can do 3 feet on that side, the service techs would appreciate it. And we really, really want 3 feet around it if you can help it. 2 in a pinch, but 3 is great. And then on using it as pavers, it just needs to be removable. All right, you need to be able to get someone down inside there. So whatever the contractor can come up with, which we've seen pavers, they have removable pieces in one little section, and then you just drop down in there, or have one little wood, or a composite section, and the rest is pavers, so that you can, provide access and drop down in there. So you just need to give access to it, no matter what you use for decking, all right? Whether it's a trap door or something that's removable, whatever it is. But that space, that 3-foot gap, needs to be taken up with something, and that's up to the contractor to come up with a crafty way to do it. And we have a ton of pictures of really nice installs on that. Okay, so 3 feet. Pavers can be used as decking, as long as, how do you accommodate for access? That's really sort of up to you guys to come up with something that's removable with the pavers, so that we can get in there for service. All right, so pavers probably be trickier than any other surface on there for sure. All right, Scott, what you got in there?
This is from Debbie in Texas. How often should you drain your hot tub and replace the water? So a hot tub, we typically recommend twice a year.
I mean, it can be
Yeah, I mean, it's
Depends on
I was
use,
just gonna
yeah.
say it depends on how often you're using it. We do have people who will do it every quarter, and then sometimes you could go a whole year without changing the water. With a swim spa, we typically recommend once a year. Again, depending on use, and you will know when it's time to clean your water. You just need a refresh, like Ben was saying before. You can't get it right after a while,
Yeah,
and
it's beat up, it's old.
Just drain and
replace
refill it. But the recommendation typically is twice a year on a hot tub and once a year on a swim spa. That's usually what I tell customers. So.
Yep. And then, and if you're having hot tub parties in there every weekend,
Of
it's
course,
not going to
yeah.
last. It's not going to
Right.
not going to be twice a year. It's going to be more than that.
Right.
I just have to say that we love our hot tub from MasterSpas. Awesome.
Oh, thank you.
That's great, Erin.
That
Thank
makes
you.
us happy.
Yep, but that we need more of that.
Yeah.
Then, everything.
How
is,
much longer till I get my hot tub?
How much long? I mean,
We don't know.
We can talk about that a little bit. The supply chain issues that we've had, everybody has, and what's interesting is that all manufacturers are getting beat up on it. I will tell you this: we're in the best position out of all of them, and you can write down, the date I said that because it's true. And the times that we're saying are to the best of our knowledge right now, and we don't do this, it's 3 months and then extend you 3 months and extend you 3 months. The time that we are quoting is the time that it's expected. Texas freezing up, for example, was not part of
Right.
our plan, and it caused a plastic shortage for all kinds of manufacturing.
Yeah.
So those sorts of things, and we're dealing with them. And believe me, if every time someone calls and says, "Hey, where's my spa? Where's my swim spa?" It stresses us. We are trying our absolute hardest to do the best and fastest job while still turning out quality, and we're working our butts off for you. Okay, so
Yeah.
it's all coming, and we have just jumped over so many hurdles on the supply chain front,
Sure.
and it's just a lot of it is unfortunately out of our control.
And we've mentioned this lots of times, but we promise you that the wait, it's so worth
It is
the
worth
wait.
it. Yeah,
It's-
it really is.
And when you get it, you're gonna forget about it. You're gonna forget that you had to wait because it's just so worth it. Whether you're getting a hot tub or a swim spa or whatever you're waiting for, it's well worth it. And we do promise you that. So.
Actually, and as a point of interest, my personal swim spa that is coming is a little backed up from the supply chain issues, so there's no favoritism going on. I'm in line just like everyone else.
Yeah.
All right. So we're all subject to it, and I don't get to complain anyway, so I'm not going to.
People ask us that, like, what would you do if you needed, if
Yeah, you get
wanted
in
a
line,
swim
man.
spa
You
hot
get in-
tub?
get
I'm
in-
like, I'd put my
I'd
deposit
get in line.
and wait in line,
That's right.
and
Because
have
there's
to be
so
patient.
many. There's so
Yeah.
many. You guys just can't believe how many are on order. It's amazing.
It really is.
What do we got here? I'm loving our Trainer 15D, filled 2 weeks ago. Yes,
That's
water,
awesome.
water trucked in, chem stabilized in 5 days, in it every day since. Awesome.
That's really great.
Awesome.
Thank you for
wait till
sharing.
I'll tell you what. I'm thrilled.
I know.
I'm
Yeah.
thrilled to get one at the house. So I've always had a hot tub at the house. I've never had a swim spa. Every swim spa I've ever had was at a training facility, and this is our warehouse for another company, but also our training facility. So I've never had a swim spa at the house. And Beth and the kids,
Yeah.
everybody is excited.
Yeah.
So we can't wait. It's so amazing. They're so awesome.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. This question is from Lana in New York. If a swim spa is installed one place, can it later be moved, like from the yard to a sunroom? Trying to figure out if I want to budget for an addition or pool first. So what I would tell you, Lana, first is be aware of the lead times, because that may play a role in your decision. And next, I would tell you that, yes, we move them all the time. Your dealer can move them all the time. I know that in New York, you're probably in one of 3, possible dealers, depending on where in New York you are, and they will all come and move it, no problem. So we move them all the time. It's not an issue. I will tell you this: if you have it in the yard and you're going into a sunroom, don't close that room, and you need to leave an open wall so that we can get it in. Okay, but it is not a problem to. My wife was going for a convertible drive after work, and now gets in the fun spa. Awesome. Yeah, right. It's a great way to end the day for sure. Like I said, we are excited to have it. But so Lana, I would say that yes, you can move it, no problem. So if you can grab one right now, grab it and put it in and have some fun. We all need some fun. After the last year, I think that our it's not just our country, it's our world needs some fun, and I know that we do. And man, just find a way to get some joy where everybody's going kind of cuckoo here. Got our Challenger, been loving it. Actually, someone commented on there that the manual called for a Siemens GFCI, and I couldn't read the rest of it. I will go back into that later. And I was wondering if you have a Challenger swim spa, because the Challenger is the one where it's critical that it has that, but it also comes with it. So you said you didn't have it, but a Challenger does come with the GFCI, the Siemens specific. The rest of them don't come with it, but they can run off of anything. If you can get a Siemens, they're really good stuff. But we have tons and tons that are not and are normal. I don't know if I'm going to get in trouble for that or not. I don't think so. But the Siemens specific is for the Challengers. That's the ones where if you don't use it, you will have issues for sure. Okay. What else?
I've got a question here from Margot in Texas. How do you keep the interior shell clean when the water is in it? We recommend using a Mr. Clean Magic Erase. That works really well if you've got a water line or any water spots.
I mean, we don't ever get that.
Any time we get like water spots, like really it's just like from drops of water. I just use a paper towel or a dry towel, but a Mr. Clean Magic Erase or just regular paper towel works really well. These are all gel coated acrylic, so it's not like you need to use an antibacterial spray or anything like that.
I think our swim spa here, the one that we're in, we've had wet for
over a year.
No, well over a year.
Yeah.
14 months?
More than that.
15?
Yeah, maybe
December?
15 months, yeah.
So in 15 months, we don't have a magic erase here. We've never needed to do anything.
No.
Now, we are good with the water, and we know what we're doing. People kind of freak out over the water in the beginning, and if you go back to our live, I was very honest. I did not follow the manual on what we do in ours at all.
Right.
So every time we get out, I put some chlorine in to grab onto what we've left behind, and I don't check the pH, I don't check the alkalinity, and our water is beautifully clear, all the time. And we go away for 3-4 days. We travel all the time. We're not here often. It's not we're not in the water every single day. During the week, it's almost every day, but the weekends we are gone at whatever events, so we don't have any of those issues. And then I was curious, I did a live, and the question that I posed was, doing it the way I do it, the water is super clear and there's no foam, and we have never wiped down the water line, so something is right. Now, it's inside, so there's no sunscreen in there, and oils and sunscreen will mess up that stuff for sure. But we were curious if we took the test strip, and I did it live. I took the test strip and tested my water, doing it the way I did it, and we have never used any other. We've used a little bit of shock and just chlorine. We're not peeing in there, and we use a little bit of chlorine more frequently, and that has been super easy for us. I will continue that at home. Yeah. I've always done it that way, and I just have no issues. People always also ask if we have Master Pure in here. We do not. So we're running filter cycles. We run about 8-9 hours a day on filtration, and this is a regular. There's no circ pump. There's none of that stuff in here, and the water is gorgeous. Yeah. So I mean, it's perfect all the time. So that's it. All right. So don't freak out about the water.
And just to review, just one more time, just in case you were at the end of the day that we use the swim spa, we've got the bigger bucket of chlorine, and there's a scoop in there, and typically we put in 1 scoop. And
that's it. It's not measured. Nothing.
Right.
We never measure it. Just literally throw it in.
Rinse out the filters every once in a while, and
so I'm a little. I have to word this properly. when we did the live in Indiana, remember?
Oh, yes, yeah.
I asked and I said, please be honest, when was the last time you cleaned your filters? And she said 6 months.
Right.
It was 6 months.
And it's true. She said in the summertime when they've got sunscreen.
Yeah, she does it
they're,
more often.
You know, they're in and out of it more often.
And her water was perfect.
Yeah, her water was perfect. She's, you know, they do rinse out the filters more often. But,
When's
you
the
know,
last
in
time
the
we
winter,
did ours?
It's 4 months ago.
Easy.
3 months ago?
Yeah, 3,
Yeah.
4 months. I
Yeah.
mean, the water's always perfect. We're not putting anything in there. You know, if you're having kids in there, lotions in there, you're going to have more to deal with. So
Right.
don't let us be like, it's so easy and you don't know what you're doing. That's not what we're saying. Our situation is sort of perfect here
Sure.
for clean water. We know that. But there is no advantage other than there's no kids,
Right.
you know, no oils, no lotions, any of that stuff. Okay, but it's not Master Pure regular filtration, standard filtration. Okay, all right. What else do we got? How are we doing? Oh, we're good on time.
Yeah.
Do we want to scroll through? You scroll through. I always like fat finger it.
Let me try my hands.
In fact, it's running filtration and right now, and it's filling my shorts with air. Is sort of annoying.
Sorry, guys. My face is up close here. We get our 19 deep water checked weekly by a pool company, and they don't charge us for the test. That's awesome.
That's cool.
I need more information. Distributor pricing. I'm not sure how to say your name, Leflo, but if you go onto the MasterSpas website, you can put in your information, and your dealer information will
think
be
they
sent
shared
to
a
you.
link.
Let's see. Oh, yep. I've been using a wet microfiber cloth. That works really well too.
Yep.
For cleaning the edges. Arriving April 30th. That's awesome, Karen.
Oh, that's right there.
Yeah, the next week. Oh, this Adrian is in the UK and he is sitting in his hot tub, I think. That's awesome.
I'd like to chill in a hot tub in the UK right now.
Yeah.
Unless the weather's bad, then we'll stay here. We have our own bad weather.
I think we got everything.
Okay, awesome. Any questions?
And if we missed anything, we'll always go back after.
Yep, absolutely. So we're on there, you know, at nighttime the next couple of days. You can also send a message in if we miss it, because there's always a lot of messages afterwards. If we miss it, just give us a day or two, and someone will bring it to our attention, and we'll answer it specifically. I think we got everything right.
Yeah. So the next time we're going to be in 2 weeks. Oh gosh, I think it's the 2nd, May 2nd.
Don't look at me. I'm useless with
I'm
that.
pretty sure it's because 3 weeks is the 12th, so 12 minus 7 is 2. So
How do you know that?
because we just got that appointment. So
Oh, we just got our Pfizer shots. Can we say that?
sure, we got
Literally just now. I wasn't even supposed to get it. So Mary made the appointment and we went there, and then I like favoritism and I like to ask for things I'm not supposed to get. And she was awesome and put me on the computer right there and gave it to me on the spot. So that was why I did it. It was pretty easy.
So we will be back for Facebook Live in 2 weeks, which is Wednesday, May 2nd, normal 4 o'clock Eastern time. So we will see everybody then. Send in your pictures of installs. We love to see it, and everybody have a great night.
Yes. Be good to one another. Be love. See you soon. We out?
Yep.
All right.